Thank you, thank you. Welcome to everyone. So wonderful to have get together with the 12-year anniversary. So I'm so pleased and so happy that is everything's happening is very smoothly. It's been for 12 years, so it's just like yesterday we built the temple. So now it's been the 12 years, and along that the 12 years we have so many supporter and helper for to move forward with this. So I'm so happy that it is still moving continuous. I don't know how long it will be continuous. I hope that it's going to be continuous for the rest of my life, rest of so so. And today is we have a special guest, Miranda Saw, who is my recall introduced to the America, who introduced me to the America in the 1994 and 98, 90, 2000s. So she was the one who put me to the different organizations, Buddhism in America conference on her own university. So she's the one who introduced me to America. So I'm so happy, she's willing to share with us today with and also she knows mostly our Sangha member in here in Portland. So this is will be the discussions and also it's a devotional act that we call. So how our people feels with the, being in the temples, and the mostly people are here with some people are from the start from the beginnings, and some people are just joining, so and some people are moving from here too. So that's just wonderful to see all of you, and I'll just pass on to the Miranda to continues with this. So that I am doing right now. So yeah, Miranda, you can continue. So and pass on to the Miranda to continue however you want to start it. Floor is yours.
All right. Thank you, Prajal. And, the way I think about this is kind of a celebration, to add to kind of the celebration of what this community means to, each of us individually. And then that adds up to what it means to all of us. So some of you I have known for a very long time, like even before the temple. I knew Helen right before the temple was even a glint in its mother's eye, as we say. So, and it's also a chance. And then Corrine, I've known for a long time, and a few of you, well, I won't list everyone I've known, but then some of you I haven't had a chance yet to meet because I haven't been to the consecration in person, and some of you were, for a couple years. And so I thought that I would like you to just, when you do, like introduce yourself and just say a few words about to orient me. And then perhaps some of you haven't met each other yet, because I know now it's an online community too. I mean, it's a digital community. So just how long you've been involved, and then the nature of your involvement. So, it could be dancing, the service, the puja, a number of things, and just hear how you've contributed or how you've participated. And that I think will be very interesting for us. And then say something about what the temple community has meant to you. So perhaps benefit, inspiration. And I know that that could be a long, profound question, but maybe highlights or something that's on your heart today as we celebrate. And then we'll have maybe a little discussion and follow up. And then you'll have questions. You can have questions like for each other. So we might do that at separate rather than after each person, because I think it's important to make sure that everyone can speak.
Miranda, I'm putting those notes in the chat so that we remember the questions. So let me just give it a chance to put them in.
Oh, all right.
Is this correct? Your name, how long you've been involved with the temple, how you've participated, what the temple community has meant to you, and highlight what's in your heart today. Did I get that right?
Yes, Queen.
Okay.
Very, very good. So in case anyone forgets, but yeah, that's great that I don't have to repeat it every time. So we will ask for, and I decided we would ask for volunteers who wanted to speak.
How you want to start it from? Shall we start from here? Start from our
like do it in like a clockwise or like a meander
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
that will be good way to go.
All right,
So,
then we don't have
okay.
to. People.
Then we have it's, but I want to meet people to make sure that it's just to speak only the very short and very, it will be we have a time limit, only the maximum we try to do only the half an hour, 1.5 an hour. So it will be really good to have a short and cute will be good to, so. Don't you think?
We calculated maybe 4 minutes, which does go quickly.
Yeah.
And that would give us time for questions at so 3 or 4, because I know you could say much more. So I think we're
Okay.
watching.
I'm starting from the Ani here. Did you see my closer here?
No,
My
I don't see Ani. Oh, I forgot the people in the room. 3 minutes. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, just doing it quickly.
I was just looking like, okay.
1.5, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm good to
Okay.
Okay, Ani.
Hi, my name is Ani Rudra Shakya, and I've been involved before this temple was built. I was involved, a friend with Prajal, when I first moved to this country, 2004, and after that, the temple was built and everything. Since then, I am very involved in temple, not dancing. I'm the kind of substitute pujaris. If somebody is sick out of town, I do a ritual and everything for morning or night. And also in every celebrations, I volunteer to make some food for all the Sanghas peoples. And the beneficiary for myself having this temple in the Portland was I can do lots of stuff for myself and for my kids. Like I did my daughter ceremony, like a and Gufa here without not being this temple. I think I won't be able to have that ceremony for my daughters, which is the part of my culture. I'm very thankful for Helen and Rachel, everybody who helped me out here, and yeah.
Yeah, Ani also very good to cook. So every occasion, he is the one who always cook here and take off from work and help for the temple in Vihara. So
yeah, actually I took the day off on Wednesday.
So yeah, good. Okay, next it's Stacia here.
I wanted to say his vegan rice pudding is out of this world. So I came to the temple. It was a bit of a calling because of the earthquake. I didn't know that the temple was in Portland. I've passed by many times. I didn't know it was in Nepal, Newa Temple. But April 25th, 2015, something happened to me, and then somehow I found it. And when I came here, I took refuge. So that is real. And I appreciate, that incredibly. And then the practice I do obviously for myself, but then to be honest, I hold the practice because I think it's so important, because what the Newa people have done is hold it. And so it's an honor to be able to participate in something that's so poignant and important. So that's the way I see it. So I do the puja, I do anything available to me, and yet I'm willing to step aside and let other people, because it needs to grow in order, like the science that His Holiness the Dalai Lama shared with the world is basically the law of conservation, which is there's only one amount of energy in the world. And so if that amount of energy can become positive, then we're really cooking with gas. So that's how I look at the time.
Thank you. Dancing and pujari also, Stacy. So dance and now Josh.
Hello, I'm I'm Joshua Proto. I am the temple singer, Wednesday pujari, and also learning the dance as well. And on Wednesday, I'll be helping Prajwal with parts of the ritual as much as he'll let me in whatever he needs. I got started with the temple really formally in 2019. I have a background in Indian classical music and singing, and when I was 8 years old, I knew I wanted to find a Buddhist teacher, Vajrayana Buddhist teacher, and ultimately that was in 2019, and I met Prajwal, and I was interested in the Chari Giti, the songs themselves of the Chari and the Orange tradition. And both him and Helen sort of like sat me down and kind of interviewed me a bit and tested out my singing skills. And as luck would have it, I was good enough to sort of begin learning the Charya with a couple other individuals. And, they say the Vajrayana path is very swift in the way it rises one towards enlightenment. So I found myself in Vajrayana style quickly being in charge of singing for the 10th anniversary performance, and rose to the occasion. And it's something that I am very grateful to be able to hold in my body, the Charya songs, and looking forward to continue to hold it and bring this through for others and share the knowledge and the insights from that.
Okay. Ashley.
I'm Ashley. I started doing the pujari role, I think in May, right after I took a trip to Nepal. I didn't know anything about Noir Buddhism or what a pujari was, but I found out about this temple through a teacher who used to come to this temple, Kavita or Kat. And turns out this place is only 10 minutes away from my house. And I've lived here for almost 11 years, and I never knew about it until I heard about it. So when I went to investigate the temple, I saw that there were pujari vacancies. So I was like, all right, let's see what happens. So right when I got back, I think it was the day after I got back from Nepal, was when Prajwal scheduled tea. I was like, okay, why not? Let's just keep the good times going. And I was interested in finding out about this place because I had been just investigating Buddhism as like a spiritual outlet, and I had been going to Zen monasteries a lot for like the past 5 or so years. But it wasn't really, it was good for retreat, but then it wasn't sticking because there was something inaccessible about it to me, and very, official, very dry. And I felt here there's just this warmth and community, and how everybody kind of embodies all of the principles. You really kind of learn in this absorption way in the community. So it's been really nice to be a part of that, and to also spend my time giving back to that and trying to also embody it as well.
Thank you. Casey?
I'm Casey Redmond. I also came here at the beginning of May with Ashley. I too honored the Kat Ellen, and I was grateful enough to be able to house it while Ashley was in Nepal, and then join her here when she returned. And it's been a very grateful member to be able to serve in any way that I can. Just recently became a pujari, so I'm also able to help do right, come up or clean up here, and be part of the food spas on day on Wednesdays. And recently started teaching dance. So it's been very special to continue a spiritual practice, and find that this is, it feels a lot more welcoming and meaningful to me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Prajwal,
Yes.
I think we could all hear Casey, but it's getting fainter as people are farther from you. And there's a very loud, at least I hear a very loud sing sound, like the, you guys hear that? So it might be,
Yeah. That's right.
It's better for the sound.
Sounds better. You need to be a little bit louder.
the background sound is still distracting, but I think we get.
It's the heater.
Oh.
Well, just
Everyone needs to mute.
just muted everybody. I just muted everybody. Yeah.
It
So-
does look, it is very loud. And I hear it fading.
Yeah.
And
So
I
what
see everybody else is on mute, so Rajwal,
Yeah.
can you put yourself on mute for just a second so if we can see if that's coming from you?
Oh boy. Mhm.
Yeah, it stopped when you put yourself on mute, Prajwal.
So, we just have a heater on. So now heater,
Oh, okay.
heater sounds taking away that mic feeling. So
Mhm.
I think it will be better.
Like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, little bit speak loud. So also, mic, we have a mic, the camera is a little far away. So
Yeah.
that's also the other
But
part.
yeah, just
Yeah.
speak a little clearly.
Phone is on the laptop.
Yeah, that's also. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you turn
Just need to
this-
little bit loud. So that's all. Okay. Do you want to introduce a little bit? They are new for me too. So they're friend with the theory.
Yes.
Yeah.
So hello everyone, my name is Sol. We're visiting from New York and I was just introduced to Prajwal through my dear friend Terry.
Terry
And,
is here.
This is my very, very first time at the temple.
Hi, my name is Stephen. I'm with Soul. I was also introduced to Terry through Soul. I'm a Vajrayana Tibetan Buddhist practitioner for several years. And I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Adam.
That's a Terry. So just.
Didn't say Terry.
I've been off and on involved here for a few years now. I'm kind of trying to get back into it. And I've been studying a little bit of Danish and is doing pujari stuff.
Maybe speak loudly. Okay. Thank you, Adam. Okay, Riyadh is here.
Hi, I'm Riyaz.
Yep.
So I've been practicing Buddhism. I started in Shingon, the Japanese Vajrayana basically, and then I discovered this temple in Portland. I heard about there's a temple in Portland. That's crazy. I started coming, and also I've been dancing as like a street dancer since I was like 16. So I was like, whoa, this is like Buddhism and dance. Pretty cool. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, and like the charya dance, I feel like it's like a secret key to like Vajrayana practice, because it's like, you have your sitting practice, and then you have like your daily practice, like paying attention. But then like the charya is like kind of like, it's like a links to like from the sitting practice to like the off the cushion practice. That's how I feel. So yeah, and I really like the community here too. That's the only way to live in this. And I'm just grateful to be here trying to learn.
Thank you. Okay, so maybe people can raise their hand who want to talk, or how that work.
Well, Prajal, we could go around.
Okay,
If
so
all the pictures are in the same order.
okay, so okay, shall we call I have a top on the list. It's here with the Terry here. Maybe Terry, do you want to just?
Didn't Terry? Oh, Terry, yes.
On my list on top. So
hello from the land of grizzly bears.
Hi, Terry.
I think for 20 years I studied Buddhism with this dream of Sanskrit in my mind, and I could never find a resonance like a Buddhist teaching that embodied the Ali Kali as a teaching. And then I started doing the mudras. And it was from the mudras that I realized when I was driving in my car I could just kind of chant the mantra, and I had this other body that would be doing mudras and kind of dancing around and with the chant. And it was like everything just kind of came alive from a Vajrayana perspective. You know, that this magic body is in the dance, it's in the mudras, it's connected to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So thank you, Prajwal.
Thank you.
So
thank
much
you.
for
Be part of, yeah, that is great.
bringing this, and all the people who support the center.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's okay, we have a list. It's John right back. It's here on top of the list. So
I really think Corinne should go first. Of the two of us, I'll follow her.
Okay, you want me to? Okay, because I'm going to go with the list on the top of the list with the in my computer so up. So
I can go, but I'll extend this a little bit. I'm at the temple because of Corinne's excellent research and looking for a community when we moved to Portland in 2008. We happened to move here in August, and so it's right at a significant turning point of the construction of the temple where the fire happened. Corinne had just finished her master's degree, which I'll let her tell you about, and was looking for a Sanskrit teacher, and she has a diverse sets of interests that really made our discovery ideal. And with my background and my time as a practitioner of Vajrayana Buddhism, it just was a great fit. And so we've been here now, and we've raised a family in the temple since 2008. And it has just been an incredible honor and to really call everybody at the temple a part of our family, it would be an understatement. Myself, I went through medical school and starting a business and a clinic and expanding the clinic. So my practices and participation has been limited, but I've found a really lovely niche, which I treasure as an MC at the events. I love presenting and describing the dances to people and the scripts that Miranda provides and Helen refines, and we create these moments between Kwan and myself, and opening the door and closing the door and playing drums and singing for a short time. It's an extraordinary experience coordinating and making light the work with many hands. As a practitioner, I have gleaned so much from my limited amount of time to devote myself. The dance, I just treasure the dance in so many ways that this is my only opportunity to really share my gratitude and how much it actually informs my practices and even my personal being in the world, and even standing when I'm at work with patients. My posture is informed by the mudras. There's so much at the vihara, and I at the very beginning, just speaking about the longevity and over the talks over the last couple of days of the legacy of the vihara, and that's what I would really like to call upon, is ensuring the legacy. And it's so lovely to see so many people in the group, because there's so much to offer here, and it's so unique in the world. And it's one of those hidden blessings of COVID, where more and more people have actually arrived as a result across the world. So I just want to say thanks to everybody. I've watched so many points of transformation over the last decade and change.
Thank you. Thank you, John. Great. So I have on the top of the list right now, it's a Karen Greenspan. Do you want to say something? Or?
I'm happy to say something. Thank you. I am so thrilled to be celebrating with all of you over these days. I first learned about Prajwal and Charyan Ritya from a video at the New York Public Library that was produced by Joseph Halseal, our illustrious speaker last night. It was called A Day of Rare Buddhist Dances, and I saw for myself those dances and Prajwal performing them. And I parked it. I wasn't ready to really engage at that time. And then a few years later, in 2019, I began dancing with the Tara Datu dancers. And in that practice, I learned that these Tara dances were indeed derived in many ways from the Charya Nritya. And at that point, I knew where I needed to go next. So I started badgering Prajwal, poor Prajwal, until he decided to offer a foundational workshop. And at that point, I made the trip to the Vihara in the summer of 2019 and met some of you people there and sat in that very space that I recognize and truly adore. And I never really left the Vihara in spirit, and have attended many workshops and teachings from Prajwal, and just truly bask in the beauty of this practice. The dances, dance has always been a doorway for me into every kind of experience, valuable, worthwhile experience I've ever had. And this is one of those dances that has led me to so many wonderful places in appreciating, understanding art, archetypes, and just deepest teachings of Buddhism. So thank you. And thank you for being here together.
Greenspan also wrote the articles in the history magazines and a couple of magazines about this dance. So she's a very good writer. She's also author of the book as well. So great. Thank you for joining with us today. It's so lovely to see. So next will be on my list with the Arya Devi. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. And I'm fairly new to the Vihara, only in virtual time. But really what brought me to this path is of course, sacred dance. And I actually found out about Miranda many years ago with Passion and Enlightenment. As a young Odissi student, I lived at Nityagram in southern India for several years studying Odissi dance, and later went to Puri, and then somehow came across Miranda's book, which actually completely transformed my relationship with dance. So thank you so much for bringing in the blend of meditation, the Buddhist meditation. I was only really familiar with Vipassana. And so anyway, long story short, 20-something years later, here I find Prajwal as a result of my search for, traditional Tummo teachers. I ran into the teachings of Dr. Nida and ended up coming across Yang Chenma's wonderful offering of that foundational course. So it's just been this full circle of multiple years study of Odissi, and then 20 years study of Kathak dance. And it turns out we have a mutual friend that's in your Vihara, Danny Birch, who's was a sarod player for me for many years for Kathak dance. And so I hope to come up and actually sit and dance and meditate in the temple at one point in the next coming year or so. But this experience of the Charya dance has been so meaningful and profound to fuse the meditation, the devotion, and the action, the dance itself. I never felt like I was mature enough as a dancer to understand the nuances and understand all the Sanskrit mantras as related to mudra and movement. So Prajwal, your teaching has been amazing, and I'm really enjoying also the singing class, because I feel like the singing informs the movement. And as the gentleman Terry said, that sometimes I'm feeling the mudras while I'm chanting the mantra while sitting in sitting practice. So it feels like there's this real integration of movement, stillness, and embodying and invoking, well, for me, the great goddess, Shakti, Tara, Vajrayogini. Those are the ones I'm working with primarily currently. But I'm just so grateful for your presence in America. And thank you, Miranda, for your wonderful books. And I hope to actually take training with you, Prajwal, in person in the coming next year. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So great. Let's see who else in the room here. Okay, there's a Bikram Baide we have. I will Bikram Baide unmute and Bikram Baide is a shift of the unmute Bikram Baide.
Yeah.
Is a shift with the.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, namaste everybody and Jojoloka. It's so wonderful to be here today, celebrating with everybody. It is a lot, you know. I mean, be part of temple. My name is Bikram. I'm very blessed today, you know. I have been known Prajwal last, when was that, Prajwal? 20 years ago?
Yeah.
But when we started talking, and family goes back, he knows my grandfathers, and we became so close friends since then. We're like like brothers. So I've been, we have done so many programs together. It's just uncountable. Thank you to Prajwal, my programs and his program, since he came to Portland, you know, and I'm really blessed for that, to be a part of Prajwal. And then when we found out Helen and Prajwal started that temple, when that starting from the foundation, I was there, and I'm blessed every day that I come to temples and celebrate every festival and cook some food for you guys, and most of the time eat food from you guys, right? Thank you, Prajwal, for feeding me all the time. And that's the community you built for society, this in Portland. You brought everybody. And thank you to Helen too, for doing what you do all the time for the community. I really respect from you. And you know, it means a lot. Like, I learned so much more about Charya dance, that I grew up with the Charya dance in Nepal in Anandakuti school, where I went to Buddhist school. And I didn't know much about it, but I know so much depth about the Vajrayana and Buddhism. Even I went to Buddhist schools and Mahayana. But I learned more about Buddhism, about Vajrayana side, and also Charya Nirte, which inspires me every day. I do yoga, thinking about Prajwal every day. It's like, oh, Prajwal done this way. It's like whatever. I try to incorporate that, even I'm not there all the time. So meeting is the biggest thing. All of you guys, all of you people, wonderful, wonderful people I get to meet and share our thoughts and process of, and supporting me about my writing books and everything, you know. Thank you so much, everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, all the friends from Nepal and friends from here, Portland.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving me time to talk.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is next is Alex. You want to give Alexander's rose part?
Yeah, I'm very happy, Prajwal, to be here. Of course, we go back in time because your father, who was a wonderful Pandit and Guruju, he also worked with Miranda, and he worked with myself and shared his knowledge with enormous grace and generosity. And in this way, your home, Prajwal, became something like a second home for me when I was living in Nepal. And somehow I can't help feeling different. Somehow I also feel about the wonderful temple that you've built in Portland. To me, it's a little bit also feels a little bit like home. And of course, you've been gracious in hosting my daughters when they're passing through. And it was an incredible honor and privilege to be there for the Pratishta, for the original foundation. And I was also very glad to be there 2 years ago for the 10 years anniversary. And I look forward for the next time that will bring me to the temple. And I salute you, Prajwal, in having built up such a wonderful Sangha outside from Nepal. This is a real accomplishment that I'm in great awe of. What you're doing for the Dharma, Prajwal, is tremendous. And in many ways, you're treading a path that has not been trodden before. There are, of course, many Tibetan Gompas all over the world, but not Newa Buddhist temples. So I salute you for all the energy and wisdom you bring. And whenever I've been in Portland and seen the community, I've been very, very impressed. And I salute you, Prajwal, as friend, but also as a guru. Namaskar.
Thank you, Alex. So I'm not only the person that the Helens and Mayos, and we have so many supporters help me to grow this. So I have to, I cannot take it all the credit. I have to give the credit.
Helen, allow me to add briefly. I also salute you too. I mean, I'm perfectly aware that the temple wouldn't be the same without you, maybe wouldn't even be there without you. The generosity and the love with which you have built this up with Prajwal. So definitely Prajwal is right to mention you at the same moment.
Thank you. Alex my family is back in Nepal before I moved to America. So he is like anything we have happened in the family gathering, he is part of our families back in Nepal. So, and that's why I know him for long period of time. Now he's a professor in the Berkeley University in the Berkeley, and he has also written many books on the Newa Buddhist traditions as well. So I'm so glad you have came to attend with our conversation today. Thank you, Alex. It's so wonderful to see you.
Great pleasure, Prajwal.
Okay, so next will be Anna here. I have here.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. So hi, I'm Anna. I always forget the exact year when I came to the temple for the first time. So I actually had to scroll through my social networks. And it appeared that I came on November 10, 2013. So it's been 8 years. And I've been there for the first time during the anniversary. And I attended the performance, the dance performance. And during the performance, one of my friends was like, hey, you should be doing that. And it sounded like an insane idea to me at that time. I was born in Soviet Union, and I could never imagine myself in a place like that, first in the US and then in Nevar temple, like dancing. I was a Buddhist, though, a Buddhist in Tibetan tradition before I arrived to US. And when I discovered the vihara, I got interested right away in the dancing part, of course, and also in Nevar rituals. And I used to dance Chot Cham, which is a Tibetan cham. However, it's not that exquisite and refined as a Nevar dance. So over time, I participated in a number of performances as a part of Dance Mandal troupe. And I also enjoy the ritual part of vihara a lot. I try to join the Guru Mandala Puja whenever I have a chance, whenever it happens. And what the community means to me, I would say that by now it's like an extension of my family. And Miranda, thank you so much for organizing this. I'm actually reading your book right now to prepare for my next dance. So this book is from Vihara Library, which is a great library also organized by Prajwal and Helen. So we have like a number of your books there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. That's a great.
Yeah, we have to
That's-
give credit to Corinne and Helena and
That's right.
Rodolfo
Amazing, yeah.
organizing it, probably others too.
Hey, we'll
Yeah.
see. We have a Dave Sage.
Oh.
Yes, I'd like to say hello to everybody. And yeah, it's been about 13 years since I've been involved from the beginning with the building of the temple and some maintenance. And I guess I just want to, I feel great gratitude to be involved in this community, and it's enriched my life in so many ways. So thank you.
Thank you. They've said it's been also the beginnings of this temple. So before we started even build this temple, so he's here and helping for anything we needed. He's like a handyman for us and helping so much for our temple. Thank you, Gabe. Let's see, we have Kun. You also want to, okay?
Sure. My connection to Prajwal began more than 20 years ago, shortly after he got here, once he had his first apartment. So I was his dance student for at least 16 years. So I have been a dancer. I know most people don't know me as a dancer at this point because I haven't danced in many years now. What drew me to that and to meeting Prajwal was when someone said that this dance was about embodying the divine. And when they said that, I was sold. It's like, I'm there. And so now I am a board member for Nritya Mandala Mahavihara. I'm the treasurer. I'm also working on a biography of Prajwal, but mostly I'm a behind the scenes kind of person. I help with the communications. I help with writing the newsletter that goes online. But through this whole process, I found another way of embodying the divine, and that has been through the sadhana. And so that's very meaningful to me. The rituals are very important to me. And just being a small part of furthering Newar Vajrayana Buddhism is important to me. I appreciate the community that's been created around the vihara. Even though I haven't been able in the last few years to participate in it very much, unfortunately. But I will when COVID is over and things are more open. But I thank Prajwal, and I thank Helen, and Miranda, I thank you, and all of the lovely people who are a part of Nritya Mandala Mahavihara. Thank you.
Thank you, Con. That's great. Yeah, Con is writing. We've been every Wednesday or Thursday, we have been communicating for my biography. So it's been 4 years, and I hope it will be coming soon. So we'll see. Thank you.
How many pages?
900 pages.
Oh, no.
Okay, Latsman, do you want to go, Latsman?
Yeah, namaste everybody. You guys can hear my voice?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm in the shadow in the car. It's very cold, you know. And I have a warm jacket. Yeah, I'm very lucky to join with today. My experience about Vajrayana, Mahayana, how long I have been practicing is I'm practicing since I'm baby. Because in the Nepal, it's called Agonche and Bihara. So I grew up in the Manjusri Naka Mahavihara. That Manjusri, that Saward gave a gift in the disciple in the Manjusri Naka Mahavihara. So even I'm practicing when I was young, this Bhajayana, Mahayana, all the festival is just for fun for me. I don't know much any ideas. And like when I grew up, like high school, I started to study books, not all the Bhajayana book, like a Tibetan book of living and dying and a lot of Japanese book. Then I see that's all the culture, you know, Tibetan book of living and dying and a lot of Japanese book. They are talking about my culture. So I got to know that more idea about my culture more. And then also I got a chance to like practice Theravada. It's a Vipassana meditation. Before that, I go to that Siga, it's that Theravada practice. I go there. Then once I practice Vipassana meditation, that I came to know a little bit different than Vajrayana and that Theravada. Like a Theravada have like a 13-degree knowledge, like a first, second, like first knowledge to 13-degree knowledge. And when I see all the Brahmacharya people in Kathmandu, when I see their like a Tantra Mantra other technique, that like a start from the 4 to 5 stage. Like a 13 degrees mean 1 to 9. And after 9, it's
What's after me? He's in the car. That's
At least it's a
Okay,
decent
something
flavor.
happened to the. Okay, I think it's get a fuzz. So
Well, if
we
he,
can come back later.
well, if he comes back, just you
Yeah.
can gently remind him that we're focusing on
Yeah,
the,
after 9, what is happening after 9? Is it curious?
well, that just we're focusing on the temple here.
Wow. Okay. Rest of people's left. Upa.
Oh,
You.
yeah.
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Hey, are you
Sorry.
going to show the face?
Yeah, give me 1 second. We're about to heading to airport to drop off my cousin, so yeah, I can talk short.
Okay.
Let me turn on my, here I am. Hi, everyone. My name is Upa Shakya, and I met Prajwal when I was 16. That was like 25 years ago. I really like to dance since my childhood. So at that time I was learning folk dance. And when I met Prajwal, when I saw him doing Charya, I was like, oh, this is what I want to learn. And since I'm Buddhist and I'm also Shakya, so I feel like this is in my blood. So since then, I've been learning Charya and performing with Prajwal. And he's the one who brought me here in US. He's my matchmaker. He introduced me with my husband, a wonderful man. And yeah, I've been volunteering for the temple since 2011. And I'm really thankful to Helen, Prajwal, and everybody for building this temple and supporting it. It means a lot to us, you know, having a vihara in America with it feels like we are home in Nepal. So thank you so much, and happy anniversary to the Nityamanal Mahavihar. Thank you.
Upa also the board member as well, so just you know, and yeah, Upa's been to really support also the, you know, anything's happened, they are here to help with the family. So Suba's giving a talk tomorrow about his experience and site lectures tomorrow 7 o'clock in the night evening. So welcome to join. And there's a 2 kids who is lovely kids they have with the 2 daughters. So it's lovely. Thank you, Upa. So Sherry Onna, do you want to say something, Sherry? Sherry? Okay, then so we have only left, then Gordon's only left. It's look like a...
And Helen also.
Okay, this is somebody.
So good morning, everyone. It's so lovely to see you all. It's hard not to gush. I share a lot of the same sentiments that everybody has mentioned, with so much gratitude to Helena and Prajwal and others in the community who have helped. I see you, Lakshman. I see that you're back.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sorry about my iPhone is too hot, and they said I need to call emergency.
Oh my goodness.
Because I put like a heat on my car, so its iPhone is too hot. So that was they stop for some time. Sorry about that.
Okay, hold on a second. So then I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Lakshman. Let's see, where was I? So much gratitude for Helena and Prajwal. And as John mentioned, just this is our family here in Portland, and it just feels like home, like so many others have shared. John and I were married at the temple, and we've Amrita, our daughter, has had many life rituals. So we're just really embedded in the community and so grateful. For those of you who don't know me, I have been involved with the temple since around the time that it was being built, and became a dancer and am a founding board member along with Upa and Kwan and Prajwal. Let's see. One of the things that was new to me to hear today, that I'm so inspired by, as Miranda's asked us to add what we're feeling, is, along with gratitude, is just the embracing and meeting the new people who have joined, and who are really taking the Vajrayana path and saying, yeah, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do everything that I can, and I'm going to learn as much as I can. So that's really wonderful to hear, and I welcome you all.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's according. It's the first marriage we did in temple. First marriage that happened in temple, actually. So, okay, Lakshman, I'll keep you here.
Yeah. Sorry about that. My iPhone is too hot. So I'm talking about a little bit Cherbat, like a 13-degree knowledge, and you can hear. Everybody can hear.
Yeah.
Well, we were hoping you would focus on, Lakshman, we were hoping you would focus on what the temple and the temple community means to you.
Oh, that's it. I know, because
topic.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, just reminding.
Well, like when I came here first time in America, that I miss two things so strongly. One is a stupa, one is my mom, because I grew up in that culture. And after I got temple in the Prajwal place, oh my God, I feel very homely. I feel very like good. And the Helen and Prajwal, they have not only kind heart, they have a monk heart. Oh my God. I always go to the temple, I get a 5-star service with Prajwal, Like even we go to a restaurant, Prajwal always paid that money, and I mean, even like I go to his place, like Helen and Prajwal. Oh my God! Like I don't get that kind of service in the 5-star hotel, you know. So, so you guys feel like how much I appreciate it. Yeah. Before I said that I grew up in that culture. I'm practicing from baby, but today that I have to gain that knowledge to know, I have to learn from you guys, because I'm not practicing much about it. I don't know how to dance anymore, So I'm very, very thankful. And thank you, Helen and Prajwal, being a monk heart all the time. And you guys make a history in America. That's when I grew up, this dance, I remember Manjusri Natamaha Bihar, they put the cotton, nobody can see this dance. So when I came to the high school, then they stopped to put the cotton, because everything do secretly practice. Reason, like a Saha dynasty and Rana dynasty, they are destroying all the, like a Vajrayana, Mahayana, Theravada, all Buddhism, they are trying to destroy all the like a old book, everything. And that was they still today in Nepal, it's still they practice secretly, not secretly like before. For bringing this dance and this practice, Neva Buddhism, I'm very thankful to Father of Projol, that's who challenged that's for the Neva community and bring into the first time in foreign people. So that was now I got a chance to learn from you guys, So that's a very good thing, because all practicing Vajrayana Theravada, I came to know this is nothing more than science, because mind and body, how it works. Like a Neva festival, it's a New Year time, we put Mahapuja. That means also body, first we have to healthy. If your body is healthy, your mind will be healthy. So that way, first you start with your body healthy, then mind, you have to awareness whenever possible, because awareness is only cure for mind. And um, all delusion, conflict, and you cannot overcome. This is a disease. For awareness is very good. So Projol is teaching dance for awareness and meditation. That's for mind. So, oh my God, you guys made the history, Projol. I don't know how much I appreciate you and Helen and everybody who practicing, all the students. And someday definitely I will come to learn dance from you guys.
Okay.
So yeah,
Great.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, and
That's great.
also not only Helen and Projol, whoever very strongly dedicated to the temple, everybody like a big namaste from Shadow. Thank you. Thank you, Melinda, too.
Thank you, Lakshman.
Thank you. Bye.
Lakshman also they always come for every occasion to here for the temple with the cooking. So he's also the really good cook. So we have every time so we have he's a really good cook. So that I can say.
Right.
Okay, we have now only the Helen left. You want to say something, Helen? Oh, Sherry on it's the I don't know. She just texted there. She have a little problems with the internet maybe. Oh, we have also the Malaysia. Malaysia, do you want to say something? Oh,
Yeah, thank you. It's been so wonderful listening to everyone. I'm in Australia, and it started at 4, and my left brain isn't communicating all that well with my right. But I could say a lot of things, but I did Vajrayogini in 1987 in Australia with my Tibetan Lama, and I had this experience where I wanted to about dancing enlightenment. I didn't even know there was. I knew I'd spent a lot of time in India. I loved Indian dance, but I just had this thing that I had a sort of vision, and anyway, it didn't make sense to anyone but me, really. And then, in 1999, I'd spent a lot of time in India. I'd never been to Nepal. And in 1999, I went and did a Vajrayogini retreat in Sankur. And before I went out to that retreat, my Tibetan Lama, we went on pilgrimage around Nepal, and his English was really a very thick accent, but he was just talking to me the whole time about things in Nepal. He'd spent a lot of time there, and he just was telling me things, and I could understand very little of what he was saying. Then fast forward to COVID, and I saw the course from Yang Chema on dance, and was really excited. And when and everything in that first presentation was wonderful, but Prajwal was like an explosion in my brain. It was like everything that my Lama had tried to convey to me in Nepal in 1999 just started activating. So I just feel that things that other people have spoken about, like the Sanskrit has always called me. As soon as Passionate Enlightenment came out, I gobbled it up. So COVID has brought some sort of strange blessings. And I would also like to say that there's a beautiful feeling in this community, a type of grace and humility. And, you know, sometimes Buddhist communities, it's lovely. Anyway, it's really lovely. And it's been wonderful to hear everyone. And thank you so much from my little bubble on the other side of the world. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. Okay, so I think so we have gone through everybody. I think, let's see, Helen want to say anything. So I will suppose give you the hint.
I just say I feel incredibly blessed. I've been receiving so much gratitude and so feeling so much gratitude in return for all the support and my lineage and everything, that the thread that brought me to Prajal and to create some dreams and for me and make Charya and the temple my sadhana, and it's been a great dream of creating with devotion, and so I'm so grateful that everybody's there keeping this going and offering so much. It's so beautiful to hear, and I'm just amazed at the breadth and depth of what's happening there, and how it's reached so many kinds of people, so many places, and the Newar community, how they've become such a part of it, and it just means so much to me. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you. Yeah, without Helen, this is not be impossible. It been like even dreaming still impossible. So, and I know Helen for in the spiritual path for a long period of time. That was so wonderful to have a nice friend. So that is happening. So this is really, really wonderful. Thank you for being a part of this, and also writing the beautiful libraries and temples and all different things. So this is thank you for that. So
and Prajal, I want to say thank you for being such a dear friend and great teacher. Thank you. I know you've gotten a lot of gratitude today too. And Miranda, I also grateful to you for bringing Prajal here, and for when your book came out in Passionate Enlightenment, when it first came out, that was like a mind shift for me. I think I've told you that before, but I wanted to tell everybody that.
Thank you. So it's coming out again soon in the spring with a new cover, Chakrasamgra Vajravarahi.
Yay.
That's kind of exciting.
Yes, I look forward to that. To have my fifth copy of it
with a new preface. Cover. That's the.
So. When the Charya book coming out, Miranda?
Well, when I can sit down again.
Okay.
It would be less than it would take me less than a year to finish it and submit it. So once I can sit down, because it's very close. I was telling that to Helena. So we might have time for one more question that I was that some people might want to weigh in on, although Terry already touched on it. And that is the fact that Sanskrit is the language of the Charyagiti that accompanies the dance, and then also in sadhanas and mantras is very like Sanskrit based. And so I was wondering if that had been something that draws you, has been like something that appeals to you, drawing you, or has it in any sense been a barrier, or has it been integral to your experience? And so that's inquiring minds want to know, if anyone wants to comment on that.
Okay. Shall we start from here? See everybody.
Well, I think this could be people who have something to say about it.
Straight ahead.
Could raise their, or unless no one volunteers, then we're going to have to call names.
Okay.
Terry wants to say something.
Yeah, I think that one of the dreams that I've always had about Shakyamuni is that he encoded his entire teaching into the Sanskrit alphabet. Now, I had this dream when I was in Bali 20 years ago, and I've studied with pretty much every Tibetan school out there. And I became more and more convinced about the dream. But it wasn't until I met Prajwal and saw him do the body mandala with putting the syllables and the consonants on your body that I went, oh my God, my mind is home. Somehow this dream has found a lotus pad to come and sit on. So yeah, I think it's, for me, the Sanskrit part has been huge. And I kind of attributed it to, there's this incredible beauty when you think about how Sanskrit was used at the time of the birth of the Buddha. There are at least Shakyamuni Buddha. And that the idea of karma was overcome by going to the priest and having the priest do a mantra or doing something for you, right? And it was all in relation to God, to Brahma. And so there was this whole control structure in place. But by him taking his teaching and putting it on the Alikali itself, it kind of obliterated that whole complex within that. And I think that the Nuaris, as I keep digging into more of the myths and Ali-Kali relationship, they preserve this, but they preserved it in this beautiful way, because I was just thinking, like, in Dzogchen, there's two things. One, there's cutting through, which means cutting through the obscurations of our body and the obscurations of our senses. But then it changes, because now as I go into the mind and I go into I'm going into the clear light. I'm going into the Bodhi mind, the side of that equation. And that happens through dance and singing in a very, very beautiful way. Like holding bodhicitta in my heart, doing the mudras, doing the singing, somehow I've stepped across that illusion, right? And stepped into this magic body. And I think the other thing for me that's profound is I've been working on this meditation of the 5 Dhyana Buddhas that we take refuge in, of being part of the 21 Taras. And the 16 offering goddesses added to those become this incredible blossom of like the clear light mind, but you're surrounded in a sphere. Now, to me, what's beautiful about this is all you have to do is do the mantras and the mudras of the refuge and the 16 offerings, and you've created that mandala. It's so beautiful. So yes, it's been a profound part for me.
Thank you, Terry. It's lovely. It's great. Okay. Anyone to please raise the hand?
I have something to say.
Okay. Just have something to say. Okay.
I can definitely comment to your point, Miranda, that for me, the fact that this is such a living Sanskrit tradition is highly magnetizing and highly appropriate for me. Back in high school, I went to Catholic school, and I studied Latin. Oh,
Yes, yeah, it is.
yeah,
Josh.
Josh.
Okay, because you don't have a name. Okay, I mean, thank you, Josh. Go ahead.
Yes. And I studied linguistics and philology of the Latin language, and in the study of the Latin and the Greek, there was a lot of comparative studies I did into Sanskrit, and I have yet to finally carve out the time to deeply study it, though I've attempted a couple times, and I know that's something. Even back then, I knew it was something that was going to be important. And if there's one thing that's become more real to me is just what is it? The fact that there's so many different there's so much value to the fact that this is a living Sanskrit Buddhist tradition. I've heard commentaries from other scholars or other sort of pundits about, oh, how great would it be if we could sort of recreate these original texts, or we can translate these back into Sanskrit, or what was it like in Nalanda? Or hear people talk about, oh, Nowar Buddhism really doesn't have that many texts. It's a diminutive textual tradition. And then I hear from Prajwal's colleagues at the temple, Dr. Murad Shakya, over 65,000 Sanskrit manuscripts yet to be fully categorized and really looked at and studied, hundreds of thousands of folios that have yet to be brought to light. And to me, I think it strikes clearly maybe a Western bias of, oh, I want to reimagine what history used to be like. Let's recreate it. But we don't need to recreate anything. We don't need to pretend. This is real. This is alive. And this is really precious. The Nowar Buddhism, the Nowar people, the culture are alive right now. And we can cultivate that. We can provide the space in order to let it be practiced and let it survive as the tradition wants to survive itself. We don't need to wait for it to die for us to reimagine how it could be. It is right now, and we can practice it right now. The insights are just as hot as they were many years ago, as they say. So very, very exciting. There's much life in this.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Just great.
Can I make a comment?
Okay.
To add to his comment, I wanted to add about what Lakshman mentioned about. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, but I was just asking, Prajal, can you turn off the heater?
Turn off the heater?
Well, because it's now it's making that noise again. Thank you. Whatever you did, maybe mute. Okay, go ahead. Who was I interrupting?
What Josh was mentioning, and when Lakshman mentions his body, and when Upa mentions it's in her blood, I feel like it's true. The Newar people have this in their blood, but the body is the Dharma, and we all become a part of that body. And I think that's what Josh is referring to, and that is what is really I think one of the most profound things I've experienced in this tradition is that the practice is the body, and the body is the Dharma. And I am just so honored and privileged to participate in such a body. It's really special. So thank you.
Thank you. Right. Okay. Something wrong again. Bones, want to say something? Yeah.
I don't know that I have anything terribly coherent to say, but it's around the idea that that it's all vibration, that words and sounds are vibration, and vibration is an energy form. That is energy. That's elemental energy, and the fact that Sanskrit comes in with meaning connected to the energy. To me, that's very, very powerful. I don't know where to go with that, but that ancient primordial flow of energy along with the sound. I mean, even in the Christian tradition, there's that thing that says something like, and in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was God, or however that goes. To me, that it's like saying it's the energy, it's the vibration, which becomes the word. And in this tradition, it's Sanskrit.
Great, great. Thank you. Great. Yeah. Also, there is a chat box. This has been written by the Arya Tara Devi. So she also connected to the Sanskrit because she's been studying those in the Indian classical dance. So if you look in the chat book, you can see that. So thank you for, yeah. Great, great. So, okay. Okay, Miranda, keep moving.
Well, okay. So the other question is, some of you've already touched on it, but it's what kind of influence, and I'll say either do you hope to have or do you feel you're having by your participation in this community, like on the broader community, or on the world, like what do you feel the contribution as a Sangha is to the, how is it benefiting living beings? Because we've been talking about how it benefits us, but does anyone want to weigh in on that?
Can you repeat the question, Miranda? It's really hard to hear with the heat going over there.
So I was just saying, what kind of benefit, or how broad a benefit in a way, do you feel that your contribution or the community is making? Like we've talked about the benefits for us, but does that make sense? Like what benefit, what broader, I could even say just broader benefit. Of course, we're all, microcosms, but so if anyone wants to weigh in on the nature or breadth of that.
Here. Stasia's on here. She's raising a hand here.
Yes, so yesterday I saw a shell and I said to Prajwal, oh, look, this shell, one shell looks like the body, this other shell looks like a brain. And I thought, this reminds me of this temple and the Newa, it's the culture, it's like a shell. But there's a living organism that comes in a shell. And that's, I think, yesterday I was like, this is like the shell, but the organism is still alive. And that's, I think, the goal is to keep that living in the shell. But this is like a shell. That's my metaphor.
Okay, Casey here. Speak a little loud,
yes.
Please.
I'm just very grateful that, especially from like Ashley and my community, that we get to invite other people in and experience something that's so profound and unique, and that we can see that they're returning, and that it's an experience that they've been searching for, and helps them liberate their own voices or their own talents, their gifts that they could maybe one day bring out. Just seeing all the musicians, it really shows that even we can bring our own talents and liven this tradition with being here and being a part of this community.
Okay. It's Riyadh. You come, yeah, maybe come there. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, okay, good.
Well, I was just thinking, I guess kind of related to what Tisha was saying. It's I feel like this model is a really good container for preserving the Dharma, because they already preserved it for over 1,000 years, and they're being persecuted constantly. While in Japanese tradition, or a lot of traditions, it's you need the support of an entire society. There's a there's a big hierarchy of those monasteries, but in this tradition it's even without the support of a huge society, it's you can preserve the Dharma, and people can come and receive teachings, and it's kind of its own whole little world, even though it's just run by families. So I think it's a really good model for the future of the Dharma and community building. That's how I feel.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we have a time. It's also, oh, Corinne, you raised hand. We have a 5
Terry.
minutes, so we just need, yeah.
Terry
Okay.
had his hand up. I didn't see Corrine. Did you have your hand up, Corrine? It was
Yeah,
Terry.
we did.
Okay.
We did it, yeah.
I did also. I'll just go quickly, Terry, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, I didn't see. Good.
I would just say that I agree. I think that, you know, we all have our own individual ways that we benefit from the dance, and part of it is deity embodiment. I mean, to feel, you know, what that it feels like in your body, and to have a devotional dance and practice to deities is so fantastic. And while that may seemingly be an individual going inward, it's also outward, because the more you feel that and the more that you embody that, the more others have the opportunity to see the effects of what that looks like, what that feels like. The more we embody and really feel that and bring that out into the world, it benefits everybody. And to just have the perfected vision and try to embody those qualities, whether dancing or in the world, is a gift to all who we are surrounded by. So I would say that first of all, but then also, as the dance and practice is out there in the world to be seen and viewed and experienced by people who may not have a opportunity to see what is a living dance tradition and sacred movement tradition look like, it's an opportunity to really look at a refined, cultural, authentic practice that is really undiluted, and, you know, to feel that and to see that is really fantastic. And Prajwal and his father and others have been bringing that out, and it's a gift to the world, and it's a glimpse into a sacred practice.
Thank you, Corinne. So we have almost, time is a little over. Any Terry and also Brigham. Let's see, Terry. Okay, we're just making shorter this time, so we have a time is running out. So
I think one of the things we've been convinced of in our Western upbringing is underestimation of the power of Bodhi mind. And that wherever we go, if we contain this Bodhi mind, if we expand this Bodhi mind, that's what transforms our world. That's what transforms what is in front of us, right? And we can see even with the Dalai Lama, that's like wherever he goes, people just, they surrender. But that's in us. And part of the thing that I've noticed in the dancing is how it kind of brings everybody more into a dream-like kind of mandala, and even notice doing the mudras in my dreams. But while I'm doing that, Vajrasattva's in my heart, right? So I'm always generating Bodhi mind, and the Bodhi mind just keeps growing and growing. And that like affects everything around us. And I think it's a way of, like, if you could say, like, and we're kind of brought up in the tradition of praying to a god, right? But now more like I've become the deity and I'm spreading the light. I don't need the in-between person to pray. I'm actually making this an activity in my life. I think that's a profound thing that, I've found from this.
And I think.
Okay, thank you. One more Bikram, last maybe the Bikram, maybe.
And then I'll have the last word.
Then we can ask.
I'll have one or two sentences.
So by the way, Miranda, I just want to say hi. Forgot to say before. I just wanted to let you guys know that how much it's brother contribution from the from Nepali sides. I hear all the Western side, but this is really impacting many Nepali people's life, and they are learning so much of our one culture, that which is people thought is a myth, right? So many people I bring to temple, every visitors come from Nepal or from out of states or other around the world. I take to Gurus in a temple, and we sit and we cup of tea and we discuss about that. They have no clue about it. So many things they thought, oh, really? And then that's contributing in a broader, now it's becoming more wiser. People are becoming more, and also what I will say that more temple is becoming the like a hub for the lot of people who thought they don't have any access for pujas. Now we have for Nepali community, and especially our Newari community has a place to go celebrate and do pujas and all that stuff. That's what I think in our point of view. Thank you for letting me say a few words.
Thank you.
Prajol?
Kwan, did
Thank
you
you,
have?
thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, because
Hello.
that's needed.
Kwan
Hello,
had.
Prajol. Can I add a little bit something?
Okay. And then
Yeah, what I want to add is like what Prajol is doing. That's dance and music instrument. That is very important, because I do the Vipassana meditation. Vipassana meditation is there is no mention about dance and like instrument, anything, just straight meditation. I have been practicing this long time, and doing that, like most of the time I do indoor meditation, and because of that, not exposing sun, I have to take a vitamin D, and not much exercise. So that wise, like our Vajrayana Mahayana preference all the instrument and the dance, because it means like we are able not in one level, because only when 3-4 level, then we have a psychic lot of other capacity. But I want to be Buddha. I'm not going to be Buddha in this life. So that was body is a number one until you get certain level. So that was instrument, like whatever you are doing, dance, this kind of things is first important things, like a basic level. That was I really appreciate you guys are doing this thing, and definitely I have to learn dance, and that was when I do meditation, I will not get any more problem, because when you do dance or gym or any kind of exercise, after meditation your sensation will be very good. So that's like I really appreciate what you guys are doing. So that's a message must be go for everybody. Body is the first. Mine will be first when you will be get certain level, like you have a capacity to understand, like a Brahmacharya level, like a little bit high level, then mine will be goes first. But basic level, body goes first and mind goes second. That's I think. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Latsons. And
Kwan,
well, okay, we can
yeah,
just.
Kwan can have, yeah, because your hand was up.
Just a very quick tack on actually to what Corinne and especially Terry said with the Bodhi mind. I relate to that more at a sort of metaphysical level and see it as Bodhi mind, but also as the vibration and the beautiful thing with embodying that, whether it's in dance, in sadhana, in dream, and whatever it is that energy bypasses mind. It by other people's minds. It bypasses cultural prejudices. It brings that energy into the world. You were asking what we do, what benefit there is. Mm-hmm. And so for me, it is that benefit of bringing that energy through into the world in a way that does not bang into anything. It just simply slides in.
Thank you.
Well, I just want to thank all of you for the things you've said, and I'm so impressed and amazed by the community and how much wisdom you have and how much, compassion. And that is definitely a tribute to your teachers, Helena and Prajal. And your understanding is so deep. And I've been in a lot of Dharma settings or, Buddhist intellectual and Dharma settings, and the understanding, can be more intellectual. And you have a deep view. So you have been nurtured on every level, and I'm so amazed and impressed. And so also celebrating you, this community, so beautiful. Thank you for sharing, your beauty and your wisdom today. I'm in awe, and I will be for quite some time.
Great. So thank you for all the communities that are helping for us and grow with this. So, sometimes like when I teach that dance now, they're not coming for a Dharma. They're just coming for my food, And most of them like, oh, I don't know anything I learned. Do I teach the Dharma or I don't teach the Dharma? I teach how to eat healthy food, maybe cook in a home and feed them. So sometimes like I feel like, this is good way to go to the Dharma too. Without food, people hunger, they not go to the food, they hunger, they're not going to learn anything. If they have a feeded, they feel like comfortable and they feel like learning the Dharma because it is the food culture, That's why it's for me, like that's my passions, and I'm so happy that is I can offer some things, to give that away because in also the community of Nepali community, if you have a parties and food involved, then everybody come. If you have a Dharma talk and Dharma teaching, nobody come there. The idea is like the food, it is such a linkings with the Dharma to bring it then. It's just having food with the communities and get-togethers, and that's where it's for me, like that's where the joyness and happiness is come. And once you have a community is built with the happiness and joyness, this is way to go. And so then we can what if how like the teaching Dharma, teaching a dance, it is like the secondary in one side, but that's bringing the food in the front is making more attract more people. So that's why it's in my first teachings in a Portland. I have no talent in anything to make posters or flyers or anything. So what I do is my photo, I cut it for first, like I photocopies all everything and cut it in the photos, wherever need to be cut it and paste it and write it down and post it in all the pools and in the called coffee stores and different places. So that's why it started. And then wherever come there, I was just so happy, like if someone want to learn my dance, let's feed them, So I started that way with the feeding the food. That's my wisdoms. It's on the food. So that can say. So that's why I'm happy that everybody's now, we have buildings more and more communities and helping. I'm not only the one person. If you're not supporting for this, this is not going to be happen. So even like being in somebody's come to the pujari, wake up in the morning and dedicated to come to here and doing for a whole hour. It's take a whole hour to do a ritual. That's also the really importance, and those people who dedicated to do the ritual. And beside that, like in and out unknowns, people always there for the supporting whatever I needed here. So that's I'm so grateful and so thankful for everyone who helping for the community to grow. So that's I have to say in the end. So thank you for everybody.
May
So,
I say something about
okay.
you? Because
You're going to say about me?
yeah, I need to make a statement about you, because without obviously your mother and your father raising you, you wouldn't be you. But also, there's something about you that's so unique as a person that allows you to come into the West, and you're able to do things that make people angry. at you
Yeah.
in your own culture. I know in Kathmandu, you have to do things to be here that make people question you. And without that ability that you have to do those things, this would not be possible. So to that.
Thank you for taking it.
Yes.
Also, is there lunch after this?
Possible. Yes. Nothing impossible. That's I take it that way. So everything is possible. Yeah. Okay, so thank you. So I just like is completely blessed right now. Everybody talk about me. I should not take any credit because I don't do anything. I just make the food. That's all. And talk to the people. So in here we have a table here. So we drink a tea every morning. So whoever come to the puja, whoever come to meditations, so I honor them. Like they made it the effort to come to the temple. So I made the tea and snacks every mornings for I'm here. If I'm here, if I'm not here, that's a different story. Until I'm here, I always like at the 35, 375 days, I have for the tea in this place, tea and snacks. So that's I do. So
for me, it's staying too. Thank you, Prajal.
yes, that's right. Also,
Food, drink, and staying.
Yeah.
It's free. Your place for whole my life, right?
that's right. Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be homeless. So I'm sure about that.
Yeah, that's right. Do not be the homeless. We don't allow to be homeless. So we don't make you homeless. Yeah. Great. So I'm going to stop sharing on the Facebook and also stop recording. So maybe we can chat after that. So you can talk with the secretness after this.